the Maggie King of the Grill. Join us on June 4th at Mount Rouge. Be part of the culinary masterpiece as the best grillers on island compete for the coveted title of the Maggie King of the Grill. Think you have what it takes? Be part of the action. June 4th. Book your spot. If not, step away from the grill. If you can't handle the heat.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire. A little more calypso. Forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo. A little more shango. Find the greasy pole. And we don't dance from the maple. Kindly greasy pole, and we don't dance from the maple. Kindly greasy pole, and we don't dance from the maple.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to OUI Culture. It's another Friday evening, of course, the first in the month of May, and of course, every Friday evening at this time, we bring you OUI Culture. Yes, indeed. The team is here with me. Reece is here. Doc is here, and of course, Scholar is here, and we are ready to bring you another great, exciting program. And we continue our discussion this week again. We started 2 weeks ago looking at the culture of politics, looking at different aspects of it. A lot of things that has changed over the years, whether it was for the better or for worse. We'll leave that for you to decide. We're just going to put it out there, and we're going to have fun. So let's welcome the team. Finley!
Hey!
What happened?
Boy, I just come out in a meeting there.
Yeah?
Well, I don't know if you call it a meeting, but yeah, a nice session up in Telescope in the past year.
Yeah?
Yeah. Children running and they dance. That was all the thing when music playing and receive all the thing when music playing and all the exercising again.
Aerobics?
No, man.
Zumba?
No, he dance something.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Dance exercise.
I never heard that yet. First time I hear. No, first time I hear that. No, first time I hear about all kind of size, but never dance exercise.
No, man.
And honestly, so help me, Uncle and Bunol and Claude. I never heard that yet.
You see, and the dancer side?
It has dancer side.
Yeah, we still go say that.
Yeah.
Doc only saying that, but Doc never hear about that yet. Doc, I don't never hear about that.
What is me what you tell him and you want how you may not hear about it and no. It's me telling him about the word.
But you just try, that was a fluke. Doc, that was a fluke. That was a fluke.
We wanted to have something like that with the drummers using the drum and let people come and do workout.
Well, that will be a drum size then.
No.
Yeah. Using drum. That's a different thing. That work out our size you talk now.
They about that size. Well, everything of a size now then.
Everything a size, yeah. So I just come out of the,
Mm-hmm.
it's a political event.
Okay.
And yes, it's a political event. So when you're talking about how politics has changed and the whole campaigning thing, you're seeing it even more and more because now we have dance size as political events. I think I see some events advertised for Mother's Day too. Mothers, could go and sit down and eat nice brown food and wear
all about it.
Magazine. Yeah,
all about
magazine. Yeah, but it's political events. They wear magazine and they you see what is a magazine?
Maxi, man, not Maxi, Maxi.
Maxi, and I know what Maxi. I know it's a Maxi.
But Maxi,
none of them long dress.
That Maxi?
Not Max, by Max.
Hey, what do you got by Maxi?
But there's a Maxi. Watch.
It's a new American thing. A Maxi dread. Maxi, that's what we do.
No, I don't know. I never since growing up now, but Maxi, when you put on your Maxi was your best dress, a long dress, you put on your Maxi. Well, as I look start opening line, let people call you that. We don't even welcome them yet,
Nobody, not even people in TV only calling and say Maxi.
Joking making me that. I bet it all is a Maxi.
I can contribute to that one.
Maxis are buying Grenville.
Yeah, well, I know Maxis are bad, but before that way you getting them from, them long dress,
I know, man.
Anyway, welcome the listener, welcome our viewers and listeners here, and then let me interfere a little bit.
All right, so I don't introduce. Welcome. I missed last week, and the thing is that I started watching over the program last week to see what I missed. I only reach halfway, so I was watching in installments. So I will teach her this to say in stanzas. You sing stanza.
A week.
So I watching it in stanzas. So after this program, I'll more than likely go back and watch the next.
So in other words, you stanza sizing the program, man. Alright. So Doc, why was he push?
Well, everything good. I back to the original. With like.
Wait, hold on, Doc. What color glasses you have on there? A purple or a mauve?
Watch Reece color. Let the camera zero and Reece color.
Reece have a blue?
You don't see what I'm
blue and teal.
Anyway, go ahead. Talk your talk.
Just want to say
talk your talk
to all the listeners on side here. As usual, to those on all the various medium houses. And I just want to send some flowers, Godfrey, to someone that has made what I call tremendous contribution to the cultural landscape in Trinidad. In a very, well, let me just go right into it. That person hails from St. Paul's, Richard Duncan. Now, Richard has worked in the bank for over 26 years and as a public servant for over 14 years. If my math is correct, you're looking at roughly 40 years of service. But I think I cannot recall his actual service in the public servant. I know he wrote a book and he stands for integrity, etc. And he wrote about walking the street and narrow. But what I must say is that as a banker, that bank was able to stay in line with the Grenadian culture. And Cooperative Bank, more than anything else, under the stewardship of Richard Duncan, has helped a lot in fostering, in aiding, in helping groups like the Tivoli Drummers, people like Ricardo Kings Douglas in the play, in Calypso. From another fact, as an individual, he was a judge for many years. People like you, Family Theatre, and many other cultural groups and organizations. So I just want to say, lots of commendation to the brother Richard Duncan. He has placed his mark, his stamp on the leadership in an institution that was, I believe, was formed for that kind of purpose. And in my opinion, under his leadership, he has expanded that role in ensuring that, the Grenadian landscape felt the work, the service, of cooperative banks. So again, I just want to send some flowers to Richard Duncan and family, of course, who give him all this support.
Lovely, lovely. Yes, indeed. The Richard has contributed significantly in so many different ways. So I think that bouquet of flowers is well deserving. Very, very much so. You see what taking place?
Yeah.
I find tonight you. Hold on. Let me. Coran, go by you. No, but I find something different about you, know. What happened to all you flamboyant colors and things? This kind of brown, they're not like you. What going on?
This has yellows and reds and orange and black, and it's a sort of leopard print looking.
I got to get a glasses like dark one because I don't find I see that kind together. I got to buy a color.
The problem is that are they on a lantern?
You're on a lantern? Alright.
So it's showing up the vibrancy of the colors and all that. That's what going on there.
So is it Quran going to?
It's not a dog no pay the bill. It's not that.
It's what? It's what?
It's like just as how the other company does mess me up, so that one trying to mess me up too. So yeah.
Alright. I hope Doc alright. Next thing Doc don't pay the bill and he telling you he paid you, like trying to blame the company.
No, listen, Doc must pay the bill in advance, you know.
She had the credit card.
Hey,
I just had to put the money in the bank. What are you talking about? She has the credit card.
Yeah, but hold on. With all that work I go down in Grenville, they say sales in bright, so I had to kind of, I wondered what go down with you because sales so hard.
The bulb and thing we just use, right? We just on 18, it's special bulbs.
Okay.
That's going on there. So one of them blow. I can't get that special bulb. So I depending on the bulb y'all does use. We don't use that bulb. The ones that you and scholars use, that we're depending on right now. Yeah, that's going on.
Alright. Fellas, let me tell you, I'm hearing a feedback somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out, it's not by my side. Anybody have something else open? So
is it your phone? Yeah, get a headphone.
Alright, okay, okay, good. Right, so fellas, we welcome all our listeners, our viewers.
But pretty still, I think what we should do is mute separately and see where it's coming from.
Okay, so me here.
Yeah, alright, yes, yeah, we see that look
like coming from by you.
Yeah, fine. So we are hearing it now. Yeah, that's you.
It's that yeah.
So you're hearing it now?
Yes, yeah. Maybe the lantern. Yeah, enough kerosene lantern out. Anyway, we welcome all our viewers on Facebook, GBN TV, K105, YouTube. We're happy to be back and we continue our discussion on the culture of politics in Grenada. Scholar, let me interfere with you first.
Yeah.
In campaign, when politician campaigning, you see a lot of things about corruption and who do this and who do that and who do the other. You feel all this kind of talk does have any influence on voters?
Boy, I'm fine. I think culturally, and the first week that we were here, I think we discussed that in a certain roundabout way. That wasn't it. But we kind of discussed that in a roundabout way, in that people know it's more about the emotional thing, more than all this kind of fanciful thing about who thief what and who corrupt and all of these things. These things have no play whatsoever in terms of deciding people's mind. I don't find so. In American politics and so on, you'll find that a lot of the little things that may cause a candidate to sort of lose his way, and lose support. These things in our culture, they actually help politicians. So all this kind of thing, this scandal and thing, if you say, boy, a man have woman and he have this and he have that. People ain't checking on that. In fact, if you're a politician, I find when politics think more woman, they call you.
You get more vote?
More vote, more vote, you get it. People don't seem to be put up by it. I always, there was one person at time that said something to me. I was still a young fella, but I never forgot it. She was a Polish lady, retired now, and she said to me, Grenadian culture is a funny culture. Just so she said, Grenadian culture is a funny culture. She said, anybody who will have been involved in some organization at some level or the other, and you hear the grapevine or whoever call their name in teeth or in some corrupt practice or some kind of how you just call that slippery hand, you have a name there, whatever hand. Anybody that name calling this kind of thing, anytime they have another organization, you hear that same person in church, right? You're voting for them. Not to say they just go in and say, I will be the treasurer. Not say, man voting for them to be the treasurer. So Grenadians have a soft spot for this kind of thing, and these things don't perturb Grenadians at all. So pushing the lines of corruption and all of those things, usually in Grenadian politics, it has not worked. It has not. We are not like that. And especially if you talk about scandal and so on. Well, nobody interested on you with no scandal. So no matter, they will stay on the political platform and they run you down and take you to the cleaners and to the mud and so on. But I believe that people who go into politics are they there because the way to politics also have a stomach. So they had a stomach and they like old Kalaluli. Once you allow that to run down, you put to go.
Right. Doc, what is your take?
I have a completely different take from Father. You see, because the Grenadian voting, the voting population is not monolithic. It's not. There are different stratas, there are different segments of the population, and some issues that may affect one group does not affect the next group. I believe that the NNP fell in 2003 because of the whole campaign of corruption. 2008 because of corruption. They got some momentum from 2003. They continued to 2008. But when NDC came in power, they failed to pursue the prosecution of those they had accused of being corrupted. So what Grenadians felt, with all that you were saying about people being corrupted, when you came to power, you never showed us a line, you never took anybody to court. You never say, well, look, because of the corruption, look what they have done to the country. You never made a case when you took the reins of power. And so Grenadians just turn and say, well, this puppy show you're making, you talk all this talk. And then we give you the mandate because we don't like corruption. And then when you reach here, you fail to prosecute. There was a core group of persons within the NDC that fought tooth and nail with Tillman Thomas because they did not want a trial against those that were accused of the corruption. In our society, when a man goes into an institution and he is accused of thieving, is then asked to have a recommendation, and if it is known that this person is a known thief, that person would not get the job. For a matter of fact, if you know a guy who has slippery fingers, when he comes to your house, you try to keep him at a certain distance because his reputation precedes him. So, in the voting population, you have some groups of persons because the message was not sold properly to them. They cannot see how that message affects them. That is one of corruption. It doesn't matter to them. But there is a whole group of other persons, and it matters. Just like in health. When you're strong and healthy, some people, the health issue doesn't affect you. It doesn't bother you that much. But you have another group of persons that healthy affect you. Just like agriculture. So any issue you put on the table, a combined effort, a combined marriage, will get you where you want to go.
Doc, let me ask that question. Because Godfrey asked a general question and you start with zeroing.
No corruption.
Hold on. Let me ask that. If you have 5 of us, and 5 of us have to vote, right? And 1 of us or 2 of us hear about corruption and 3 don't care, who will be winning?
5 of us hear of corruption.
2 of us care about corruption, or 1 of us care about corruption. 4 don't care. Who will be winning?
But if the majority,
because this is what politics is.
Exactly that.
Some people are going to care. But we're looking now at the sum total and what it means when you look at the outcome. All right? Now, to say that in 2008, this is what caused that is to be myopic. Because no one thing caused 2008. No one thing. And that's what this when you zero in. When you zero in, you're going into problem. Because no one thing caused that. Right? We have been hearing about corruption and this thing, not in 2008. We have about corruption before that and before that and before that.
Let me tell you. Let me. Reece, come in. Before I say anything, let me get your take on it.
I think when things are not new, people become desensitized towards it. And yes, we've heard talks about corruption. Corruption is a word that is used, and I wouldn't say loosely, but it's used very often. No, it's like everything is corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. There's some corruption about something. Even if somebody is 90% straight, there's 10% corruption about them. So it is not new, and we've become very desensitized towards it. That we don't hear it for the true meaning of what it really entails anymore. And we've seen evidence of that, where, you know, we talk about corruption. It was a big thing. You know, all the Al Jazeera and all these things. It was huge for us. We listened, right? But then when we didn't see the results, as Doc alluded to, of all the corruption, what happened? We forget about that. What is corruption? Corruption is a small thing. It's no big deal. That is what it to me it seems like for the populace right now. So campaigning on a ticket of being anti-corrupt and accusing opponents of being corrupt and all that, I don't know how much effect it has, save and except in actuality, who has the loudest mouth, who are the biggest carriers of those things, they carry it on and they maintain it within their camp, within their supporters. And who are the defendants? If they're on the minority, then that's all that happens there. But to say it really having an impact to get people to sway from one side to the other, in reality, I don't think that happens anymore, because the word corruption is just, it means nothing now. It's diluted. It's like being in a room where perfume was just sprayed. You smell it, but then after a while you don't smell it anymore, even though it's very strong for the person who comes in.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, because I see corruption is not a one-sided thing. And let me give you an example. only recently, radio announcer popular, but 2 radio people. They got a turn in post somebody who was nominated to be a caretaker for one of the political parties. And talk about all kind of impropriety with money from the person past and so on. Right. And people shoot some people would have killed them. People don't care about that. People don't have stomach for these things. And that is what I'm trying to say. People don't study that, because if they is studying that, I mean, we know you have issues.
But I mean, let me just, before we go to the break,
not just corruption in office, but even before people come into office, you know, people that talk about people have skeleton in the closet. People don't care about skeleton.
Let me just go back a bit, because we're going to the break now. Doc, you know, you said that it's watered down, people don't care about it anymore. I don't think people ever cared about it. If we go back to even Uncle Gary days. In fact, I think Wednesday night we were talking about that. Gary was accused. In fact, when this BVI thing came up and people were talking about corruption, Gary was accused. And remember, Gary was at one time, I think he was suspended by the British government, right? For some whatever they call corruption. What was the corruption? What was the corruption? Well, all of that, Squandermania, all of that, tied in. You know what was Gary? You know what was Gary's response? What are they talking about? The piano I buy for the office? He said, well, the reason why I buy this piano is because I couldn't get a bigger one. What they do? Gary win the next election after Blaze campaign on the tripartite with Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada. They vote on Gary. Gary come right back the next election. And who has been more accused? Well, aside from, we know who, of corruption more than Gary. Gary is probably one of the most successful politicians in Grenada. So it boils down to, as people like to say, the people. But who is the people? The majority. Let's go to the break. When we come back, we will continue. Stay with us, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
Hubbard's is giving away loads of prizes with Live Free for 1 year 3.0. Same promotion, more prizes to be won. Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big every 2 weeks. Win free fuel for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, cash savings account from the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, free electricity for 1 year, free Coca-Cola for 1 year, free property insurance for 1 year, free drinks for 1 year, free lunch packages from the Creative Chef, 1 free gas cooker, free internet and cable for 1 year, and free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 28 to September 16, 2022. Live Free for 1 year 3.0 is brought to you in part by Chief Brand Products, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Carib Breweries, Danny, Flow, Creative Chef, Grenlex, Supreme Bleach, Promos, Sol, Dutch Lady, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, and a Food Fair Supermarket. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey man, when we come online, you only juking up your phone.
Yeah boy, now as I say, they have an app. I can't find it. I check Play Store. I do a Google search. I can't find it. Man, I get fed up, man.
Nah man, because you look in the wrong place. The app is web-based. You access it via your web browser, right? You can add it to your home screen or your desktop, like any regular app. Watch, look, I have it on my phone, right? And you can access it or add it to any device, your computer, your tablet, any device.
Well, how am I doing that and I can't find it?
All you have to do is open your browser, right? And type mobile.nawasa.gd. And voila, you see?
Just so?
Yes, and you can download it or access it via the web. Once you have a reliable internet connection, right, you can run the app anywhere, anytime.
So, how I adding that to my home screen?
You click on those 3 dots, right, or your web browser setting. and look for the option to install app or add to home screen. Easy peasy. The Nawasa app is versatile, fast-paced, and always up to date because it's web-based. Once a change is made to the app, it updates automatically, no hassle.
Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Speysile Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Speysile Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Speysile Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grandlands. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679. or 406-1500, or visit any of our 3 locations. Speysile Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Kindly greasy pole, and we don't dance round the maypole.
Welcome back, everyone. It's OUI Culture, and we continue in our discussion on the culture of politics. So just before we went to the break, we were talking about the whole issue of corruption. Personally, I am with Scholar on this. I don't believe these kinds of things really influence voters in any way at all. But a little later on we'll hear what the callers have to say. But Reece, let's go to Facebook now and take any comments if we have, and then we would move on. I have another question I wanted to get all your thoughts on it. Reece, are you muted? We're not hearing you.
Oh, you know?
Right, okay, we got you. Yeah, right. Yeah, we got you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. So I was saying that Cynthia is saying that she's looking forward to receiving cake online. Ingrid, Julian, everybody's just welcoming and saying good night. Let's see. Julian is saying maxi dress.
But I know that. I don't know why you tell me that.
What's that, Julian?
Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody know that.
She's also saying that's correct, Mr. Livingston. True, what you are saying. Whatever it is that Livingston was talking about. And Ingrid is saying all politicians are corrupt in all countries. And I noticed that Ingrid also said that she's feeling very sad today, and we would like to know why. She did say one of her sister has passed. Yeah, one of us. Our condolences to you, Ingrid. It's not easy. 6 years. Okay. All right. Yeah. Really sorry to hear that. But Godfrey, does he comments that?
So okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me just read this one. This one kind of cracked me a bit. On the WhatsApp platform, someone said, "Good night." Livingston don't know what he's saying. When you accuse someone, you have to bring proof. The NDC spend their whole time trying to jail Kit. They even forget they have a country. So the attorney went to the US for evidence. He come back. You hear about smoking gun up to now. Next thing, till he fire him. After Tillman get 50,000, he put it on the account. Who fire him? He fired 5 ministers, left, right, and center. Why you fire himself? Let me see what else we have. Good night, Reece. Good night. This one is only for you. I hear you offering men cake Sunday. I hear you offering men cake. Sunday is Mother's Day. I want my cake, please. I'm coming at your home for it. So Reece, make sure you have cake.
Yeah, baking.
Then somebody
been asking me for cake all week, and I let them know that I'm baking.
Right. Somebody say you're correct, Godfrey. It's Maxi and not Magzi. And the person say, wait now. Doc has a purple glasses. I know that.
You look like you're about to go and change my glasses. Hey.
Change your glasses. Oh. Anyway, but that's right. So that's all the comments I have on the WhatsApp. So fellas, now there's a saying. Well, no, I shouldn't say there is a saying. Some people say that. I have my own opinions that politics and religion don't mix. So let me ask all you. Do you think it is right for a pastor or a priest or some church minister to get involved in politics? So, Scholar, start it back with you again.
Now let Doc take that.
Well, Doc, see, the reason why I live in Doc, Doc does have to put it into context and he does get very philosophical. So,
let me put it into context.
Alright, so Doc, let me go in Doc first.
I was asked Reece first, no problem.
No, you are you first.
So let me
put on your glasses and
why don't we get our glasses?
So Godfrey, I believe in our side of the world, because religion and politics from biblical days has always been one and the same. There has never been a separation. No matter of our culture, politics and religion has been one from biblical days, and in some parts of the world it remains so. In our part of the world, they try to have a distinction between that. Mm-hmm. So you have the church and the state supposed to be separate. But it is expected that while the state would not, while the church should not involve in party politics, the church must be involved in crying out for oppression against the poor. So you don't want to say politics, but you want to say socialism. So the church would take on things that affect persons. I mean, I believe the church in this part of the world was very much instrumental in fighting against slavery. for one, as one at a certain point. But today you find that you recognize that a sort of mix, a closer network taking place between church and state. I'm not so sure if it's totally wrong. I expect the people from the church to have, I don't know if I want to say, a more enlightened conscience or more enlightened sense of morality than the regular work of the wheel. I'm not so sure I should say that it has not been proven so, but the church should always be standing up on the side of the oppressed. It in politics or just advocating for social rights and socialism. Right?
Reece, let me hear you.
Well, when it comes to church and religion, and politics, a religious leader is supposed to care about the people. So does a political leader. He's supposed to care about the people. The people are his flock. His supporters are his flock. When they get into power, they are supposed to care about all the people, whether they support it or not. So to me, a religious leader and a political leader is supposed to be very similar. But because in actuality, that is not the case, that is why we say religion and politics not supposed to mix. But the fundamental principles is supposed to be similar. Sadly, that is not the case, and that is why we say they don't mix. But because of the fundamental principles of leadership, I see no reason why someone who is a religious leader should not get into politics. You're supposed to be coming from a sector where you understand people, you're on the ground, you know their needs, you know the parishioners, you connect with them. And then on the political side, we talk about we're a Christian society. We always talk about we're a Christian society in our political statement. So why do we differentiate? Why do we separate? Why do we do that when your ultimate goal is about leading people into improved livelihoods? And to me, the religious part, the difference is that one probably speak to maybe a particular denomination, but at the end of the day, it's about a relationship with the Almighty. So I don't see no reason why you can't have a religious leader getting into politics.
Finley, what's your position?
Well, culturally, Grenada has seen it before. Pastor Hood. I believe Pastor Hood was probably the first. But when Pastor Hood went up, there was a loud hue and cry. People felt that he should not, just because there is a feeling. And I think Basdio Pandey said it best when he said politics has a morality of its own. And the morality that politics has is different from what the church espouses, you see? And so it is against this backdrop, because, people question, for example, what would happen if, for example, in politics, everybody, politicians, either they don't lie, they don't stretch the truth a bit, or they may not tell you what you want to hear. And all of those things on them is lie, but it just lie with different kind of name, but it's all lie. Would you, because there's sometimes in politics, you see, a political party is a collective, it's a group. And sometimes because the group is the superior being, yeah? And everything that you do, you have to do it so that the group prospers or the group flourishes. If a lie would protect the group or help the group's cause, would a pastor do it? Or would he put the group in jeopardy? You see? And usually that is what happens. I mean, them men go to sit down in the cabinet and they come to a thing. Sometimes you don't agree. But you take a collective stand. Then what do you do as a pastor now when a man come and ask you, well, you agree? So let's say we say the political director go in cabinet and they say, we'll make a decision. Godfrey and Livingston have to grow here. Okay? And you as the pastor, you don't really agree, but
I was scared you were saying something else now.
No. And you as the pastor, you say, I agree, but lead them men, by put feed them men, lead them men. And in the end, you get voted out, and then somebody was to ask you on a public forum, and what are your views on this? Then a pastor, what do you say? You see, so I think all of those little things came into play. But then Dr. Reece is also correct that from the beginning of time, there was not a clear separation between politics and religion. As a matter of fact, when the Bible speaks about high priest and Godfrey is a man, I believe you know Bible because you just put out and I ask you to say what and sometimes you don't even know what the hell you say. But it does sound good, it doesn't sound enough.
Hey, what? Don't stop persecuting the servant. They want the question.
You're that kind of Bible man. Since the days when they used to talk about the high priest and those kind of man, them high priests and those were the rulers. The high priest and them were the political directors, but they were also the high priest. You see, so it has always been like this, but people have questioned that over the years. And even when we had our one who went, there was a lot of questions over it, but eventually I think they accepted it, and Pastor Hood won. And we know what happened. So.
But I mean, even though even before Pastor Hood, I don't know if you remembered, when the interim government was put in place to sort of run things until we got back to, we had religious people involved. In fact, I remember there was a Seventh-day Adventist pastor. Yes, exactly. So.
You see, but I think you were not voted.
But the thing is that I don't. No, but I mean, he wasn't voted, but it was to run the affairs of the state, basically. So in a sense, it is politics. But even if you look at, let me tell you, I know people might see this. Look at the Christians, and I don't want to offend anyone, but look at Jesus Christ, for example, and the people how he organized. He had 12 disciples. Look at the composition of those 12 disciples. And Scholar, come and tell you about Bible. You had doctors. Luke was a doctor. You had Minister of Finance, Matthew was a tax collector. And you had a group of people who were involved in almost every aspect of what we consider as political affairs today. I think the difference is, as Basdio put it, it has a morality of its own. But if people do what they're supposed to do in the interest of people, then I don't see any reason why a pastor or a priest can't get involved in politics.
Exactly.
I think
a pastor would create some balance.
Yeah.
Look at it the other way. You had some serious example like Aristide was the president of Haiti.
Oh, well, I was just about to say that, yeah.
Right, so he was a priest. And he was actually taking Haiti to a part of development and was chased by the Americans because Americans don't want Haiti to develop. Then you had Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu was not in active politics, but again, the state probably would have put him as an ANC member, but Desmond Tutu led a lot of demonstration within South Africa. I mean, he died recently. But I thought when you were talking about Jesus, Jesus' whole disposition, his whole life was challenge the oppression of the state. You mentioned about finance and other possible big doctors, but those guys are them, as far as I'm concerned, those guys were rebels. Maybe they had their profession, but when they were the first disciples, were guys that were hunted down, hungry by the state, because they stood up for the people. They stood against the oppression. That is, for matter of fact, and that is why Jesus was nailed on the cross, simply because he opposed the oppression of the state. So,
but was it? I mean, Doc, let me just challenge you a little bit. Was it the oppression of the state, or the whole issue of, because most people at the time, and we come back to the people, the majority felt that Jesus Christ was being portrayed as a king, and that ain't working with the people. No, but I don't think it was a matter of state. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Some persons felt that he was the new king, which means that he's charging the authority of the Pontius Pilate and those that were in the reign. And they felt that they have to cut this guy down to size because he actually challenging their legitimacy. So you have religion playing that role since then. As I said, here it has evolved differently in this part of the world, where we try to separate but people would be involved in active protestation, but not in the party politics. And in our churches, there has been, as Carla just mentioned, the active opposition against priests or pastors getting involved in the party politics. But we expect, the citizens expect them to stand up on certain issues. Example, like the church who that stated that they were against gay relationship. When the gays came, they were extremely silent. So the people expect them to stand up for that. But I don't believe our Grenadian people, this is our culture, we do not really necessarily want our pastor to be in party politics or our priest to be in party politics. I don't think our Grenadian people want that. We want them to stand up on issues, but we don't want them to take side and to be in any political party. And that is my take actually toward the culture of the Grenadian people and the state and church.
Godfrey, you will not ask for it, but we should go for an example. Let me give you let me put it this way, right? And let me give you an example of Grenadians will say all kind of things, and they'll talk all kind of things about politics and politicians and whatnot. But Grenadians by Grenadians hypocritical to the podium. And culturally, that is how we did. So a Grenadian will tell you, but you too nice today in politics. Yeah. Remember, I think they say was gay. Who did that? Tillman should be a pastor. Who did say that? Yeah, somebody else say that.
But a lot of people say that.
Should be a pastor. You know, because they felt somehow that the morality that he has is not the kind of morality for politics. So you see how it is. And if somehow you're nice, they tell you, man, you're too nice for politics, which means that you have to have a certain kind of, you have to be of a certain kind of ilk, a certain way to date politics. So people accept in our culture that a politician, since you enter into that, you're not totally what we'll call walking the straight and narrow. They don't figure that ahead. And if you walk in the straight and narrow, politics is not for you.
According to our culture.
According to our culture, politics is not for you.
Let's take our final break, then we'll take some Facebook comments and then we'll open our telephone lines. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Hubbard's is giving away loads of prizes with Live Free for 1 year 3.0. Same promotion, more prizes to be won. Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big every 2 weeks. Win! Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Cash savings account from the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. Free electricity for 1 year. Free Coca-Cola for 1 year. Free property insurance for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Free lunch packages from the Creative Chef. 1 free gas cooker. Free internet and cable for 1 year. And free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 28 to September 16, 2022. Live free for 1 year 3.0 is brought to you in part by Chief Brand Products, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Carib Breweries, Danny, Flow, Creative Chef, Grenlex, Supreme Bleach, Promos, Sol, Dutch Lady, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you heard about the new Softweave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Softweave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Softweave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information. A message from Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority on the occasion of the International Composting Awareness Week.
Hi, I'm Romeo Felix. At St. George's Methodist School, composting is a big deal. The students are always excited when it is composting day. We place organic waste in the composter or in a special area on the school compound. We later use the compost in the school garden. Yes, we have won many prizes for composting, but most of all, we have learned the valuable lessons of reusing, reducing, and recycling. Composting is the way to go. Happy International Composting Week.
A message from Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority on the occasion of the International Composting Awareness Week.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center, a natural health store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
The most anticipated family fun-filled event on the GBN calendar is back. The Maggie King of the Grill. Join us on June 4th at Montrouge. Be part of the culinary masterpiece as the best grillers on island compete for the coveted title of the Maggie King of the Grill. Think you have what it takes? Be part of the action. June 4th. Book your spot. If not, step away from the grill if you can't handle the heat.
back, everyone. We Culture. So we take some Facebook comments, and then we'll be opening our telephone lines in just a moment, so you can have your input in the program. So, Reece, let's see what we have on our Facebook page.
Okay, I think we have a new viewer tonight.
Ms. Davis?
That is Sandra Davis, yes. I think she's very new. She's saying, Mr. Host, so what you're saying, Grenadians like corruption? In a country where the electorate want a better standard of living, they should vote out all corrupt administration. Then we have also saying, Godfrey tried to make that program appear serious. Too much unnecessary laughter. That is a comedy show. And that is how I know Ms. Davis is new to the program. Because I think later on you would find out that the avid listeners and people who have been there for almost 2 years. Say that again?
Yeah, I'm not sure where the feedback is coming from. But it's workable. Let's go. Yeah, Reece, continue. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'll just continue. Ingrid is saying, I think they should look at Al Shaputon. He is a pastor. He is involved in everything. That is quite true. Elnika Charles is saying, on a Friday night, tone is just fine, laughter included. Sandra goes on to say, try to speak correct English to assist people. Caller, I think you're rubbing Sandra Davis wrong. With regards to religion and politics, remember liberation theology. Christianity is highly politicized. Look at Europe. Look at the battle between Christianity and Muslim faith. Some Caribbean politicians are just too corrupt. Jerry Bristow is saying, if you don't agree, you go in the toilet. I guess that has to do with the dialect.
No. The parliament. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jose is saying good night, one and all. Last week I listened. Sandra is saying, scholar, you don't have to agree as a politician with your cabinet. There is principle. Elnika is saying dialect has its place in this forum. The program is called We Culture. Blossom is saying Finley, Tobias Clement showed us what actions can be taken. Step aside if your values does not mesh with the behavior of the party. Tillman showed us when he demoted some of his ministers for inappropriate behavior in public. Additionally, wrongful acts are committed within churches as well. Take, for example, the discovery of priests molesting young boys. This was discovered up in the interest of protecting the church as a whole. Now, Sandra goes on to say, too many Grenadians are too tolerant of corruption. Godfrey speaks as if corruption is cool. And so the electorate turn a blind eye to it. That's why Grenada is the poorest country in the OECF.
Sandra, the Grenadian. Sandra.
Jose say, Reece, go full of corruption. All your burning tires, blocking roads, and I can go on and on. We don't see us come out.
Who said they were going on?
Residents want to know, don't worry. Rennie saying even Reverend Al Sharpton too plays his part social and political issues. Sandra is saying this discussion right now not serving any purpose. What is important is uplifting human being, whether priest, pastor, or politician. Right now in Grenada, the bulk of religious people are being bought and sold. Programs like these should be used to change the narrative in a positive direction. Grenada don't have a culture. The island has been deculturized from 1983. Listen, Sandra.
What is Sandra?
Good night, Godfrey and his host. Priest or pastor would not involve in politics because there is too much bacchanal. These people is more to God. Okay. Ricky says, did you remember when a decision had to be made on casino gambling in Grenada? A certain pastor went to hide in the toilet. What kind of political pastor is this? Jose said, I agree with dog corruption. With dog corruption do play a part in election. Maybe not much in Grenada because no one's been charged on corruption due to the constitution. Why they don't want to change it, but that's why they don't want to change it. But in the diaspora, your position, you will be charged and face jail time in office. or when you leave office as of a president who can face impeachment. You're quite correct, Jose. Sonia Madeline Scott is saying, I totally agree with you because politics is dirty games. Who could lie and steal the most between being a politician, in my opinion? Pastors and priests should be there seeing the interests of the people and country, not political affiliates. Jose said, in Grenada, the NNP been accused of corruption. Bet they have the largest voter turnout. So it's hard to get them out to be charged. I think we need to stop taking handout and being dependent on politicians to give us a meal. Jose said, tell me what God does not make. And those are the comments. No, it's quite obvious that Sharon is new to this program. Sandra Davis is very new to this program. I mean, it's a name that I see on a lot of political platforms, a lot of news, and she's someone who comments frequently, and I think she's really mixing up we culture with all the other things that she usually comments on. We want to say welcome to her.
She's a little confused. What is that? View the program, view those of four, and get with the we culture way of doing things here, where dialect is what we speak. Exactly.
Godfrey, I want to add to this, not about Sandra. Sandra, I think, will become indoctrinated in time. She just has to take time, listen a bit, and then she will be one of our ardent viewers, and so on. The fact is, we're not discussing party politics. Neither did we say that corruption should not matter. We're not saying that. We are saying it does not matter in our culture based on the trends that we see. Yeah, how people view it. What is our heart and what we believe and what we don't believe. All right? So it's not our belief here, we're looking at culture. But also, Godfrey, politics and this religion thing seems to have become more entangled in recent times, especially during the political campaign. So parties would have a whole night with gospel and so on, right? Remember there was this famous preacher, what was his name? Pastor Griffith. Yeah, Griffith play a mass, so on. And usually now they say the people who are running for office by they need these people of God to come and hold their head and so on, and to cover them in the blood, because when you go in this thing, you need to be covered with blood by. So more and more we are seeing these things coming in to the politics, and I can bet you any money that in this election cycle, each of the parties would have an event specifically for some religious outpouring. They would have, because usually it's part of the political campaign and so on. Whether it's Mama Gizom they making, whether it's not Mama Gizom they making. We don't know. But that seems to be a strategy now, and preachers and pastors and even gospel singers. But some of the gospel singers are reverends and all kind of thing, What do you mean? I mean, people what we hear about and we don't on radio and so on, they just come down here and they kick smoke. And there's a special kind of mystic with this gospel thing, and you'll see the candidates, oh gosh, they catching power. I cannot see on the thing. It's part of the rhetoric now and I don't know. As citizen ruler would say, part of the demagoguery. Part of the That's right. That's right. Yeah. Actually, so folks, the telephone line is open. The number is 435-2041. We would definitely like to hear from you, and to get your views on some of the issues that we've touched on tonight. The whole issue of corruption, how people view corruption, whether it matters as it relates to voting, and of course the issue of whether religious leaders should be involved in politics. Let's go to the telephone. We Culture, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, I want we big up Mr. Gregory Mason from Malmont of the ELTM tune to this program. So Dr. me last time we was mentioning his name. Gregory Mason is a listener that tune on every time. When I see what took place, I must reiterate distinctly on Squanamania, because the top wrongs about, right? Gary got the money. When they say Gary squander a lot of money, Gary put that money in good use. It's years after some people see what he did with the money. The wrongs about Oble, when they come from White Gun, going down to the top wrongs about by Government Gate, we're supposed to stop and give the right away to the guy that come up from Mars Hill. But that didn't happen. Every weekend, he saw some serious accident. So Gary took the money, distinctly speaking, he took the money and he fixed the wrongs about. It's years after when they recognized how important that wrongs about was there. And Gary fixed it. Most of them couldn't say nothing because, you know, he has some political element that when they want to come in party, they say everybody corrupt. So he took the money. He's an old lady was telling me that it's his son. When they say Gary squander money, look how Gary used the money. Every weekend he saw some serious accident because you come out of White Gun and the man that come out Mars Hill coming up, you all time have to give way to the traffic on the right. Most of them fellas rushing in and they bouncing one another. So Gary took that money and fixed the wrongs about which we have today. So that wasn't Squanamania at all.
All right. Okay, caller. Thank you very much for your contribution. Yes, indeed. All right, 435-2041. That's the number you can call and you can make your contribution. 435-2041. That's the number, and we'll definitely be glad to hear your views on some of the issues that we've discussed. I don't know, that the feedback seemed to be, I'm not sure what's happening with it. Let me see if I have, okay, in the meantime, let me just take care. Someone is saying Devon, I guess they're talking about Devon Rache, who was in politics. And he's a pastor, I think. Someone says, if a pastor is in politics, some people might not like the party he's involved with. The church might lose some members. It happened with pastorhood. Doc is correct. We don't want our pastors in party politics. Well, I think it's something that most of us agree on. Someone says, since... I'm trying to understand this. Since King Hatchet has a hammer, hearing about they thief the election anytime the opposition lose the election, they thief. And NDC win in 2008, no complaint. They praise the electoral process, free and fair. As soon as NNP win, you're hearing all kind of nonsense about thief and all kind of things. The opposition talk about corruption. When they're out of office, that's the order of the day. They tell you, which tell me politicians in the Caribbean get jailed for corruption every day. We're hearing it. Well, a little kind of confusing there, but nevertheless, I hope we understand what the person is trying to say. 435-2041. That's the number you can call. Richie, do we have any more Facebook comments? You're muted.
Sorry. Okay, so we do have some more comments. Just a minute. Right. So we have Ricky. Right. Now we have Sandra. There's in whatever the program is, It should be used to make society better. Someone listening should have something positive to leave with. As for indoctrination, no way. I have a mind of my own. We have, well, Jose saying we have to remember during an election, politicians are the most loyal lists, going to church, never misses a Sunday, and give the biggest donations. To that church they're visiting, if we look in our parliament, we have a pastor with the most attitude sometimes. I think if he was in the street, he would have been in a fight. Ricky saying, when I think of pastors in politics, all you make me remember a Calypso in Trinidad named Afraid Carl. Sandra is saying, it's the first time I sit and listen to this program. Culture defines a people and the country. Putin war in Ukraine is a battle to protect Russia and culture. The US is attempting to force their culture in the world. Grenada fell victim to it, and today the country is one of the most corrupt in the Caribbean. Junie Jones is saying church and politics goes very well together because they both are very corrupt. Chiron is saying Trinidad in the house. Welcome, Chiron. Jose is saying, Sandra, welcome to drink water and listen to the program. Blossom is saying, when Godfrey laughs, I find myself laughing too. We're glad that happens for you, Blossom. It's Friday. Rodriguez is saying, Godfrey, that caller that spoke about the roundabout was built by the Canadian government and the Canadian engineer, and it was long after Squandermania. So that's what I'm saying.
That's a goal. You could tell it. You don't have to tell it. You have to tell it. All right, 435-2041, that's the number you can call and you can make your contribution. I think maybe the discussion too deep for our callers, I didn't find a scene them tonight at all. But in any event, let me throw this.
Like Hannah, we don't see Hannah and them.
I ain't see Hannah. Hannah finished work late today. Let me throw another one. Let me throw another one more here. So Scholar, let me ask you a question. I'm putting it on to you now. You are a PS. Now, if you know you well, of course you're a Grenadian, you're a Kaisonian, you are abreast with what is happening, and deep within you figure, boy, I think I should go for public office. I could make a difference, but you're PS. So I guess you would have to give up that, and you go and you contest and you think, but you lose. Should you be allowed, or should they give you back your work? Let me tell you, the thing is, when you left, I mean, you are a model employee, you working hard, you getting award, all kind of thing, for good work. You understand? But you want to make a contribution in politics, so you think. You ain't win. People say they ain't voting for you. They go vote for you in the March Gras. Should you get back your work? Other PS?
Godfrey, that's a good one. And as a matter of fact, culturally, it doesn't happen, right? I don't know what are the legal ramifications behind this, but it cannot happen here. So once you resign your position, you run for office, dog it yourself if you lose, then you have to find your way. There are two different sets of arguments that can be proffered as it relates to this. Now, some people are of the opinion here that because we are a small country, yeah, and so the pool of persons or the pool of people to enter into the leadership sphere is small, and it is made much smaller when you preclude a certain sector of individuals. And mind you, these are individuals that a lot of them are at the very pinnacle, really, in terms of what they can bring to the table, in terms of their educational background and what have you, right? You have a lot of bright people in this place, but these people and a lot of leaders, but they are precluded from this. So we're thinning down the pool. And so really and truly, when you think about it, you take what you get. And that is why sometimes people question the quality of the people who come up for office. And sometimes they question what, I think Chuck does have a good song on that, what is the qualification
to
become a politician, right? And in this song, you will realize that it's not nothing much. Because the truth is that there is nothing much that you need by way of qualification to be a politician. You could just jump out from where you jump out, brush your teeth, wash your face, and you jump in. And if people decide
you miss out one thing. Tell them two good lie, two solid lie, and you good to go.
Tell them two good lie. And if you align yourself with the proper political party,
what do you?
Good to go. Nobody care about whether you dance, whether you pride, whether you don't know nothing. You did it. You see? So that is one side of the argument. But the other side says that a public officer, must not show any kind of leaning politically, even though you may have, but it has to be a secretive thing, not something that is trumpeted. And so once you decide you're running for office, everybody don't know already where your head leaning. And so if you lose, you have to remember you're coming back now to the public service, to lead in the public service or wherever, under the party that you run against. And in Grenada politics, buddy.
That can work. That can work. That can work.
Yeah, that don't work. That don't work. That is trouble because some way, somehow, somebody figuring when you go to work, you have a spile button. And every time you get a chance, you turn it. Every time you get a chance, you juke in that spile button. I mean, sometimes you're very dedicated because you want the country to prosper. Nobody will see that. And then in Grenada, where you see the grapevine, that grapevine is so powerful. Man going and say things what you never see. And by the time you reach the ears of the political director, you're in trouble. So this
very colorful at that point.
No. The only thing is, you see, and that only happens, Scholar, in my opinion, depending on which side of the fence you're on. Because I mean, I know a public officer in St. Patrick that run for election. He set a cut as he still go back and he get back he work. Doc, you know that?
I know that too, and that one is an anomaly.
There we go.
That is an anomaly.
So
let Doc expatiate.
Doc expatiate on that. Talk about that. Talk about that, Doc. Talk about that.
That's self-employed.
You see, when we talk about the, well, I know that one is not really corruption, but the biasness in politics of what you mean. But let me just that one was really out of the box to have someone run for election and then pull him back. And not only that, pull him back and give him ranks at the same time.
Yeah.
When a matter of so the guy and he just couldn't say because of again his the bad behavior. Now but
hold on. But young Godfrey still wrong about how that happened, because the truth is that the gentleman in question that you're talking about, he didn't get back he work immediately.
He gave back he work after. Well done.
Because at that time when you were just pulled back for some.
Oh yeah, you're right. He gave back he work after 4 years. After 4 years, he gave back he work.
4.5 years.
He gave back he work. Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're right. You get lucky walk after 4.5 years, right? Yes. Because he gave close.
The question you ask Scholar Godfrey is very pertinent, very important. And then I think Scholar says something I would want to elaborate a little bit more on. The pool of resource persons that probably have that patriotic fervor that want to serve the country is extremely small. So you find persons within the profession, maybe a lawyer or a doctor, it's easier for them to step in or hold the two portfolios at the same time. You can be a lawyer and a politician, a doctor and a politician. But it's difficult for a teacher or a policeman to then make that kind of choice, those choices. Like, you cannot have both of them at the same time. What I believe can be a compromise, though, somebody that at the level of a PS should not be able to enter politics and then step back as a PS. To me, that role is too critical in balancing the act. And once you show your colors that much, I don't believe you should be able to go back as a PS. But I also believe that it should be a good thing, and we should be able to allow a teacher or a police, with a police, I would say at a certain rank. So you can go into politics, take a 2-year leave. And if you so leave, then if you lost your seat, then you can you can go back. I mean, and I believe what that would do, it would open the field for other persons that are very credible. And you don't have to wait until you retire, or you don't have to make that choice, that you give up your job completely. If you win, you remain in politics. If you lose it, then you can get your job because you took a 2 years leave, just like when Carla could have taken 2 years leave to go and study, or something to that nature. I believe that should be the hallmark of how we judge. But after a certain rank in the public service, I believe you should not be allowed to continue in that same position.
Well, personally, I believe someone at the level of PS, Permanent Secretary, the level of maturity and the responsibility that is involved, I honestly don't see why a PS can get back to work. Because a PS practically, no, that's not what you said. To me, this is just my feeling. A PS practically runs the ministry.
Yes.
The PS runs the ministry.
And you go back and you are trusted to continue doing a fair and proper job.
Yeah, but you see, the job that you're doing is not a party job.
It's not a party job, but it calls for decision to be made without you showing your clear preference. You just come out and compete against that administration. You lost your position, and then you're employed to go and administer
the responsibility of the people of the state, not of a party.
What if your reputation surpasses you? What if you're known to be?
Well, that's why I opened. Let me tell you. That's why I opened by saying the level of the. I mean, I think.
Even if you are a good employee, when you come out from a campaign, Godfrey, you are bruised.
You see, I think that and that is how that is part of the culture of the politics, and this is exactly what we're discussing. Should it be that way?
So you don't know when you can't help the mudslinging, as we say that, because you could only control what you have control over. Somebody could decide or make up something about you. So you are PS, you are, as I say, a model employee. You decide to go in politics. I don't believe you take 2 years off. You went and you competed, you contested, that's it. You lost your seat, and then you immediately come back to some government that just.
You see, it's like this, and the other day I was asking Scholar that. So if, for example, election is coming, I am not particularly concerned about party, but I am concerned about representation. Which candidate would be the best representative for, let's say, a particular constituency? So why can't I? Let's say, for example, if I decide I want you to go on a platform of someone representing the NNP, who I believe can provide excellent representation for that constituency. And on the other hand, go on the platform of an NDC candidate who, in my opinion, can provide excellent representation as well. Now, to me, that is going to do very well for the country because you basically trying to bring out the best. But the culture of politics, scholar come in here. He's a Kaiso there. Scholar like Kaiso thing. Come in, scholar, come in. Or is he coming?
No, I agree with the sentiments of Godfrey because I'm thinking if there are two radiologists, if there are two radiologists in Grenada and there are two hospitals, right? And one who's really good left and go and work in the other one, right? And then there comes a need. There's a job opening, right? There's a job opening for the radiologist and he decides that, okay, I'm going to apply where I'm going to reapply to where I was. Are we going to just like not take him because he was here before and he left?
Of course.
But you have a need. And he's good.
Let me say this. Let me put it this way. What Godfrey is saying there, in principle, it will be nice. That's something bad in principle. Reece is saying that that's something nice in principle. But that is only place. It's only place that's something nice in principle. Why we not mature enough for this kind of thing as yet? As a matter of fact, if Doc run, let's say Doc was a public officer or something, or if Doc is not even a public officer, but Doc had to walk what he had to leave or something, and Doc run, and Doc last, Doc don't even get not even the work what he's getting, Doc don't get it.
You don't get it no work, you don't get it no work.
Nobody don't give Doc work. He can get viewed Doc now as a politically talented individual. And like in the old days, you know, they had this connotation, this jailbird thing. And when you come out of jail and you are jailbird, you don't get work.
You get him up, yeah.
You have this thing way. In the same way, political people who run for office have this political thing over their head. They get work.
But listen,
this is why. Hold on.
I think it's straight from the.
Wait. Just give me give me a half a minute again. I don't want to lose that time. And this is why you hear, and Douglas here, and I does here, and Godfrey does here, and Reece does here, and Sandra Davis does here.
and she started to fall in line. She started to fall in line.
People who have to run for office, sometimes good people, and if they want to resign from the work, the party that they have to run for, just have to give them something.
They have to pay. Hold on. No. They have to say it right. They have to pay their mortgage. They have to give them something. They have to pay their mortgage.
What happens to you
after? There's a reason for that because if they lose,
okay, that.
You like done. Politics there.
But it happens even at the basic level. You're finishing now. Even at the basic level, with supporters, you know, even people within the community. If you, Doc, you ever fella in Tivoli? I tell you, passing on my McQueen Day. Apparently, he's a green. So I don't know if Yellow had something and he passed and he come down the road coursing. He said NDC give him one box. But the thing is, he don't know which NDC had box him, but he know a NDC box him. Because, no, mind you. No, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. It could very well be that nobody in NDC don't even study the buy, you know. But because of this political thing, he get a box. Yeah. And it's just a NDC had box him. Like the fella with his pay, he said, I just saw he say that, he tell McQueen, he said, NDC give me one box. He just
that go. When you come back to Scholar, I think what Scholar whole argument is basically saying what is the reality of the situation. But I think the question asked, what should happen So we're looking for the way of that. I don't believe you address scholar what should happen. You address what is the reality. Now, here we know that if you would not get a job but I am answering the question. Should we have our politics operate at a more mature level, where people at a certain level can compete in the political arena? Or are you saying it is open to bagay? You can compete peers, it doesn't matter what. And once you lose your job, once you give notice that you take 2 years off or a year off, you lose your deposit, you can come back. You can come back and work in that same service. And I'm saying I believe that is fair for a certain level. But after a certain level, I can't see operating like as a PS. I don't believe a PS has any right to get back his or her job if they compete and lose.
Let me tell you. No. You see, I don't. Let me tell you. I don't. This is what happens. You don't get back your work, but I don't believe it should be that way. And let me tell you something. This thing happening. That I don't know if it comes from politics and it sort of filtered through. But
system, Godfrey.
Let me tell you something. In regular people, in Calypso, all kind of thing. Look at Trinidad, for example. Depending on which party in power, you know in which Calypso you are winning ground. Scholar, like, you just follow all kind of Calypso.
So scholars will
yeah?
Scholar be the fifth.
Let me tell you. Scholar, boy, people, let me tell you also about something about scholar people don't know. Everybody does say scholar does sing politics to win. Ask him how much politics song you ever win crown with, and you will realize.
But don't forget if you're stuff of them on that.
Let's go back. Let's go to the telephone. We Culture. Good evening.
Good evening, and good evening to the panel and the viewers and listeners. Godfrey, I heard you mention about the prominent secretary being politician, yeah? But I have a question for Scholar. Scholar is a prominent secretary, right? I think it's ICT. If I'm correct, I would like him to explain what his post, being a PSN. It is education, human resource, because I know they have handle on them there. But I would like to know if it's ICT. And I would like to also know his views on the amount of PS in the ministries. This administration have about 20-something prominent secretaries. Do it make sense in terms of pending and condemnation? I like his views on that.
Yeah, but let me just come in here.
Let's answer the question.
Yeah, but I don't understand that question, because we are discussing the culture of politics. I don't understand what does this scholar know how much PS you have in Greener? Well, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Reece, let's take some Facebook comments.
I know he's not 20-something as he's, but I can't.
So we have Angel Marasta saying, "Church don't corrupt his people in the church." Jose saying to be nice to Sandra. Mary Williams would like to know who calls Scholar here. Scholar, we want to know who called your here. Sandra is saying the PM said that you have to be a stupid government to be in power with the election machinery and lose an election. That is corruption at the highest level. Hannah letting us know that she's here, she's watching, she just tuned in late. Jose is saying as long as Scholar not singing about Keith, then he have his job back. Let's see. Mary saying, I find all you're leaving out Livingston tonight. No, sometimes it's a little on the quiet side, but Sandra is saying the Constitution should address that issue. Anybody who wants to represent their country should be allowed to do so. The Constitution gives everyone the right to work. The problem is petty leaders and petty politics. I agree with you, Sandra.
Yeah, I agree.
And Jose saying, as long as Scholar don't mention Keith, he have his job and maybe elevated because of corruption.
Hold on, Rishi. Jose tell himself as staying in Guam now.
People.
Doc don't even live in Guam Motless.
Okay, huh?
I said Doc don't even live in Guam Motless. Doc are not afraid to come in Guam.
Drink water.
Yeah,
drink water.
I drinking water and mind Doc business.
Here's the one thing. Rum does ride your chest. So try water.
Yeah. I tried all that.
Politics in Grenada. Let me see. We have Sandra. Yeah, Sandra is also wondering why Livingston's so quiet. Indra is saying no scholar and Godfrey wants to put Doc in book belly tonight. Sandra is also saying recently in St. Vincent, I think, and Barbados, teachers ran for elected office on the opposition side. They lost, but government tried to victimize them. Petty leaders, petty politics. Indra is saying, Doc, which store selling that glasses is a real take you see those two haters on them? Doc going them. Mary says, scholar calls have him real joyful tonight. Monet says, good night to Mr. Godfrey and his guest. Scholar, who hairdresser put those calls in your hair? Was everybody on your hair today? Okay, because in your hair, she or he can do your hair. As usual, you always have me laughing. Love the program, watching and listening. I met the bald-haired one who is talking now I met him at Saturday Market Vibe, the 4th of the 23rd of April. We had an interesting conversation. Love to laugh. Don't forget protocol, wear mask, sanitize, social distance, the young. Have you all fantastic week. Okay, peace, New York. So Doc, Monet met you? Jose says, Sandra, we culture is like therapy. After a long week, we can speak about our culture in a humorous way, educate our young ones who grew up with their grandparents and may heard of certain practice they did in the past as local remedies. When we felt sick or certain proverbs they used, which was reliant then and now. So that's just a little bit of what we would have spoken about in the past, Sandra. We do lots of topics. Ricky Parag is saying there are too many eater food pastors in Grenada. Pastors supposed to share the food, but they're studying to ram all the food for themselves. Stop it, pastors. Sandra again is saying, so Livingston, what you're saying is that a Grenadian can't be professional to put their profession above politics. In Grenada, everything is politicized. The Public Service Commission should be empowered to make that determination. They also determine, given the person job description, whether that person will remain on that job or not. Government is a continuum. I agree with you, Sandra. Yulin is saying, Godfrey, you're all on the right track with We Culture. Lots of people are learning from this program, including me. It makes people laugh. It brings back memories of a lot of good things way back in my childhood days. We Culture is a very interesting program. It's like I just put my pot on fire and sit down to wait for We Culture. I always find Friday is taking too long to come when I think of We Culture. So Godfrey, keep on going with the program. Don't stop. Now Monet is saying, can't say it better. Reece Livingston is the ball-head one. With Reece, it just came to me. Peace, New York.
Hold on. Scholar, you realize something there? Just now, when she asked Doc, she said, so Doc, you meet Monet? No, you hear she pronouncing Monet name now, she reading Monet Williamson. You understand the difference? You know what that means?
Monet is my friend.
You know what that means, right? Just thought it was, so you meet Monet? No,
is my
Monet.
Doc, I have a feeling you will eat back.
Money on behalf of Doc because they like to be figures.
I had missing a box.
I'll get some Kung Fu.
Kung Fu is just...
You will get some
You will get
We have Cynthia saying, thanks as always, guys. Very informative and entertaining at the same time. My Friday night therapy. Now, Sandra is saying, in Grenada, all the independent institutions have been politicized, and too many good people just fall victim to the corrupt mentality of the leaders. Talking about the PS, they are already politicians. Whenever NNP win, after they lost an election, the PM replacing all the PS. This should never happen. Politicians should be allowed to just replace PS arbitrarily. Shouldn't be allowed to just replace PSs arbitrarily. Jose is saying, like Dickon Mitchell, who is the CEO of his firm, may have to resign to take part in the political arena, but NDC were to lose the election, the question, can he become the CEO as he was? I don't think so. Maybe if the board decided to elect him again, subject to corruption, that's my opinion. I don't agree with you, Jose. From all indication, the guy is a master at law. He's excellent. So why would the board not want him to return to his practice?
And on top of that, he's not from. And on top of that, and hold on top of that, Reece, he's not from Guave.
Yeah.
So that make it even.
On top of that, he's saying Guave?
He's not from Guave. I just telling you. I say on top of that, he's not from Guave. Dickon Mitchell not from Guave.
Not from Guave?
No.
You see, if he was ever from Guave, no, we would have blocked the road to the board meeting. Mary said, Godfrey will pay for your mouth. Jose said, I think in that way you want to have one feet in politics and the other holding a job. Cynthia is saying we are dealing with we culture. Mary Williams, tell that caller wrong program. Sonia Mafflin is saying, I think by now some people do believe that the NNP party always stealing some votes in different places, especially when they have supporters coming from outside the boundaries to cast their votes inside other boundaries in areas where the candidate is weak to gain more votes in order to win their seats. And it do happen, in my opinion, when we listen to the PM, he is actually letting us know that it is the way it goes. Jose says, scholar, stay out of politics and stay where you are. Stay as a PS scholar. Sandra is saying, scholar was in education. He tried to be straight. They run him to ICT, laughing out loud. Jose says, scholar was good. We're McDonald College guys. Jose, you LIE. Ricky Parag is saying Pastor King was never in politics, but scholars sing the promised land and still put Pastor King in the politics. Poor Pastor King. What do you know about that? Pastor King is a good man. Jose said, since Doc mentioned NBC, like he lost the Friday night election on the Doc! Hey, Jose said we culture is Friday night therapy. You wanna say Godfrey? I ain't lying. You're really making me laugh tonight, bro. And then Jose saying, remember Scholar left the Friday night program to sing for Keith's birthday party. Laughing out loud. Scholar, remember we good. Scholar, we from St. Patrick's. Jose, he left We Culture too to go and sing about prick in the stadium last week Friday. Is a lot of things Scholar doing, you know.
About vaccine. Scholar.
Exactly, but what's me?
Scholar, if it's one.
What are you compromising on is Sunday, you know. You better come good, you know. He and that big bad beast. They better know, you know. Beast have a song to finish from the last program. He has a song to finish from the last event. So Scholar and Beast, you are warned. Go ahead.
So Finley, last week everybody sending message on Facebook saying, oh, Scholar on the stadium singing that, singing this, singing the other, all kind of thing. And we sit down here, we know why you're singing. Sing a line for us now. Let we enjoy the thing too. I mean, with your partners. What is song you sing down there you think everybody texting about? What is song you sing and everybody texting on Facebook last week about? Sing a line let we hear now.
Yeah.
Man, sing a line let we hear. Don't call me name, man. Just sing a line let we hear now, man.
This is not a talking segment. What is it? Segment.
Just sing a line.
The singing segment.
Remember, the next segment that we're going to is Sky Store and Carnival.
Godfrey, right. Singing? Are you hearing a song? Singing.
Don't forget that. So when we go there,
as you start, I was talking about 2012, you know. The way we talk about 2012, you talk about 2012, you don't get vexed. I thought I'm making you cry, you know. I'm making you cry.
Was 2012 when you get the female meeting?
Don't talk, the bag will get vexed, you hang up here.
Forget that. As you start, forget that. As you start,
you can just sing a line. That's all you have to do.
As you start again, that money number.
You hear now? Monet just said, Monet. She said, why Livingston so sad now? Please don't pick on him. Hold on, it's moving a little. Please don't pick on him. He has a gorgeous smile. I am peeping and doctors making wrongs. Peace, New York.
Hold on.
Love you, Monet. Stop giving impression. Stop giving impression that you see in trouble. You don't see in trouble? Stop giving impression that you see in trouble. What's with the sadness? Right. Alright, Mary Williams is asking, is the curls in his hair that have him soaked? Scholar, that's called. And Valley says, Scholar know all who take prick except him. Yeah. Jose said nothing to do with Keith Godfrey, I heard. Mary saying, Godfrey, you're trying to set up the man. And Valley said, don't know how he walking without taking the prick. But they say, Mr. Godfrey loves your vibes. Fantastic energy. Send off what you had for dinner. Loved you all. That's from Monet. Okay? So Monet saying that Godfrey.
Monet.
Love your
Monet.
Send what you had for dinner. Love you all. Love you too, Monet.
You know, how they call him at Stang a song, a kaisu. That is just a little aside. Smokey. Smokey had sang a song. I say, all are we thinking? One thing on your mind is money.
Money.
Anyway.
Money.
Hold on. Let me read a comment from Sandra. We have to take that comment.
Yeah.
Sandra said one of the major positives of this program is that everyone is free to express themselves freely. What a testimonial. I love the lady who read in the Facebook.
We had to give Sandra a round of applause.
Glossy on Mikey, Live, Linda Stricano, GIS, and all of them other corrupt media outlets. Pineapple and all block me. We'll never get off here, Sandra. Never. Mary said, and we're not a political program. We're not that kind of program. We're just a We Culture program. Mary said, like Livingston joined the family secretly. So Mary, we're getting it now. Mary and Monet are related. Mary Williams is a baby sister of Monet. Jose saying, Sandra, don't feel bad. Godfrey, boss blocked me too for saying nice things. Laughing out loud. Oh, who's that boss? Oh, boss. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, boss.
Now we don't block people. We ain't blocking.
Yeah, we don't block.
So let's
take our blow.
Godfrey, we come to almost to the end, but what I realized is that Sandra was actually pushing deliberately to see if we go block her.
Well, I find so we don't block nobody.
Yes, so she was pushing deliberately. But Sandra, we don't blocking you, man. We love you. I mean,
of course.
When you come here, you expatiate, you laugh, you say what you want, you think what you think. In any way you want, you can write what you want. We'll read what you want to write, whether it's colloquial, whether it's thing.
Yeah. Even if you have no punctuation mark like Jose or Nesto, comment on them. I just have to decipher what he writing, but I'll still do it because I'm from Guam. I'm that good.
Anyway, let me just read the last couple WhatsApp profile. Someone said anybody who don't laugh behind their head does swell. Then someone say the big belly police officer who ran one time got back his work after he lose his seat. That's after 4.5 years. And somebody said some churches are embedded into politics. Some have representatives, have offices in spare rooms in churches. Some representatives have offices in spare rooms in churches. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, that's all. Fellas, we it's past 10 o'clock, eh? Yeah, I don't want them. And Doc, I know Doc wanted to go that purple glasses in the eye fast. So we had but you can't see. Put back your purple glasses in your eye now, Anyway, guys, Doc, your closing comments for tonight.
Well, we started at the beginning and we were talking about corruption, and the whole question came up if corruption has any effect in the political sphere. I think I still maintain my position that it does. But again, as I say, the population is not monolithic. There are persons where health will be an issue, some agriculture, some corruption. And I believe it's the sum total that will determine how people eventually vote. But apart from that, I think the conversation this afternoon was very good. I had a long day, so I am a little bit more reserved. It was nice to know that I am greeted from friends as far as New York, Monet, just sending greetings to all those other persons on that medium. And We Culture would always be We Culture. It was really nice to hear Sandra Davis. Started off in one way, but then embracing the program for what it is. And I think that is the power of We Culture. We could take the chat, we could give the chat, we could defend ourselves, and we could accommodate persons that fall in line. So good night to all the listeners. I hope we meet again in the next one.
Yes. Reece?
Well, first of all, I would just like to say to Sandra again, welcome. We're happy to have you. Your contributions are welcome on We Culture. Once you're not being disrespectful in any kind of derogatory kind of way, we entertain most comments here. So feel free to tune in every Friday. It's therapeutic. It's a time for you to laugh. It's a time for you to just let down and just be. Nobody cares about polished language, the language that we were taught. We don't care about that here. So, just come on and just be one of us. We're happy to have you. Tonight's program, I'm really sorry that I missed last week's program. Last week's program was my kind of program. But this week, we had a good chat. We had a good discussion. I don't think that we concluded on whether politics and religion or whatever should mix. I don't think we concluded on anything, but we had a lot of theoretical underpinnings about things that we would like to see if our world was pure and if politics didn't have, as they say, a morality of its own. There's opportunities for changes to happen as well, because I am of the view that I see no reason why someone can decide to get into politics and then go back to, the mainstream workforce or whatever, and even in the position that they were known to be excellent at. I have no problems with that kind of thing. We need to be, as Sandra alluded to, less petty and less politicized. I would like to say happy Mother's Day to all mothers in the nation. Today I had to correct someone and let them know that a woman doesn't have to have a child biologically to be a mother, and she does not have to bring a live birth to be a mother. The fact that you would have become pregnant and you were mothering a child in the stomach, you are a mother as well. And so too are the fathers who did not get to see their child be born. So happy Mother's Day to all mothers, grandmothers. Those of you who have lost your mother, our condolences. Bask in the sweet memories of them. And Scholar, I'd just like you to know that the 8th of May is a very special day for me, and I'll tell you why privately. but we're looking forward to seeing you and everyone else Sunday.
All right, Skulls.
You don't have to tell me no privately yourself. You tell me that how much times already. We see Alzheimer's. Tell me this thing already. I just hope that just as how you forget dark one, I hope that dark is not going to dark is not going
What is not like confusion, so?
Well, I have to like confusion. As a matter of fact, we make the big bonds already. I have dark with the bonds, you know, I see that bonds.
So those ice bonds?
Ice with bonds. You could do anything, you know, in this world. We see how to join with you to wish all the mothers, and especially you, my dear, happy Mother's Day on Sunday. I hope that Doc makes the bank card available. Doc had to come up good. And to even those of us who we call father, but who have played maternal roles.
That's right.
Very often, because I must say that for very often I've been like a mother. So even to all the maternal fathers, the fathers who have played maternal role, you know, happy Mother's Day. We're claiming that as well. We want really go flower.
Yes, I agree with you.
We need to have some things, you know. We finally, let me say back to the top. I do not think that and Sandra has made some excellent points. And she's correct in her assertion that we are not mature enough to be at that level. And I think Doc made some excellent points as well. And just to show you how immature we are at that level, you know, if a certain party wins the election, but they have people in high offices who are perceived to not be for them, people causing the supporters causing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The supporters causing, right? I know, for example, in NDC's reign from the 2009 to the Liquor Suit, that was the main accusation that was leveled at them, that they leave people in high place and so on, so that by the time they say something, the opposition knew it and so on. But it's a conundrum of things that and we're not ready to go there yet. I don't know if we'll ever be ready to go there culturally. I don't know. We really need a cultural shift for this to happen. But so Reece said we have not answered the question. I think we have, because ideally that's what it should be. But sad to say,
it's not.
Culture is not always ideal.
Right. Thank you very much, guys. I mean, I had so much fun as always. It was really good. Nice discussion, and I agree with everything that you guys have said. You know, there's so much that happens that is geared by our cultural practices and cultural beliefs, you know, and as Carla said, whether we move beyond that, it's something that we have to wait to see. I want to join the guys in wishing all mothers happy Mother's Day on Sunday. It's a very important day. We all know the important role that mothers play. So we wish you all a happy Mother's Day. Of course, you'll be hearing it from me again tomorrow and so. But from We Culture, happy Mother's Day this Sunday. And guys, thank you again for you know, always being here and, you know, making this program what it is to be. Sandra, thank you very much. We're happy to have you. I see in your last comment that you had a lot of fun and you have asked us to sleep well. We thank you for that and we wish you the same. And continue to tune in every Friday at 8, and I guarantee you we'll always have a good time. So guys, thank you very much. All the best. I think it's about time we start talking about Carnival, you know.
Suzanne, don't forget Suzanne.
Susan Day. I saw Susan when I saw Susan this week. This week I saw Susan. I saw Susan this week. Yeah. Doc, I don't think you got to say Happy Mother's Day. I think you missed it.
I did not. I forgot. Well, Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. Coming from me, of course, and although the team was ahead and the entire team. Think about people like me all the time. Well, Happy Mother's Day, everybody. All the ladies outside that are mothers one way or the other. Hopefully Sunday would be a great day. People like me would see what we can do to make your day a little bit more enjoyable. Happy Mother's Day.
Looking forward.
All right.
Thank you guys. All the best. Good night. And of course, next Friday we'll be back here doing the thing again. All right. So until then, do have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. All the best.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire. A little more calypso. Forget it.